Welcome to you all students. Okay, today we are going to see the Python operators. Okay, the operator means it is going to perform some operation between the operands. Okay, that is the operator. There are arithmetic operators, comparison operators, assignment operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, membership operators, and identity operators. Okay, we will see one by one. First one, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators means we can perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponent, okay, floor division. See, you know very well addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Let's see the modulus. Modulus means it performs the division operation and gives the remainder. Gives the remainder. That is called the modulus operator. Next one, exponent. Exponent means, for example, see here, a double star b. That means a power b. A the whole power b. Okay. Next one, floor division. Floor division means double slash. Here, see, there is one important note. Here, minus, here see, minus 11 double slash minus 11 double slash 3. What is the quotient value? That is 3.6. Okay, here one operand is minus. Negative means it gives the rounded value. Minus 3.6, it becomes minus 4. Okay, suppose there is one operand is plus. Plus, both operands are plus. 11 double slash 3 means it quotient value is 3.6. It gives only 3. Okay, it does not do the rounded value. Okay, see, we will see the example for the arithmetic operators. I will explain you the program using the Tony app. Okay, we are using the Tony software. Here I am typing the program: a equal 21, b equal to 10, c equal to 0, c equal to a plus b. A plus b means it gives the, see, we will, I am going to run the program. See the output. Value of c is 31. See, 21 plus 10, 31. Next 21 minus 10, that is 11. Next 21 into 10, it gives 210. Next one, division operation, 21 divided by 10, 2.1. Next one, modulus. Modulus means it gives the remainder, that is the 1. Next, see, a equal to 2, b equal to 3. A double star b. Double star means exponent operator. It is the power, a power b. Okay, what is a? A is 2, 2 the whole power 3. 2 whole power 3 is 8. See the output, 8. Next, this is the floor division. See what I told. We will see one example for floor division. A equal to 11, b equal to 3. Next, c equal print of a double slash b. Double slash b. Here 11.0, 3.0. Okay. See the output. Listen, students, listen the last line. See the output, 11 double slash 3. What is the quotient value? 3.6. It gives only 3.0. Okay, both the operands are positive means. Suppose one arithmetic, one value is negative. See, we will run the program. See, it becomes minus 4. Can you understand the difference? See, both the variables are positive means it gives the 3 value. Okay, one value is negative means it gives the rounded value, minus 4. Okay, that's all. Yes, sir. 1 hour. Comparison operators. Next we will see the comparison operators. See what are the comparison operators are there. Double equal to, okay, whether a equal to b or not. Next one not equal to, okay, this is also not equal to. Next one greater than, next one less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. We will see the example for the comparison operators. A equal to 21, B equal to 10. First condition, if A equal to B, condition true or false? False. So what will print? A is not equal to B. Okay, see the output, A is not equal to B. Next one, A not equal to B, condition true or false? That is true. So what is the output? Line 2, A is not equal to B. See, that is also print. Next one, A is less than B. Okay, condition true or false? A equal to 21, 21 is less than B, condition false. So it will print line 4, A is not less than B. See, A is not less than B. Next one, A greater than B, 21 is greater than 10. Yes, condition true. So line 5, A is greater than B. See the output. Next one, A equal to 5, B equal to 20. We are going to check A is less than or equal to B. 5 is less than or equal to B, less than B. Condition true. So it prints the less than or equal to B. See the output. Next one, B is greater than or equal to A. 20 is greater than or equal to A 5. Yes, condition true. So either greater than or equal to B. That is the output. Okay. Let's see the next one. Next one, assignment operators. Okay. We are going to assign some values. For example, A equal to B. Equal to operator is used for the assignment operators. Next, plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, divide equal to, and then modulus equal to. Next, double star equal to, exponent, double slash equal to, floor division operator. See, we will see the example program. See, A equal 21, B equal 10, C equal to 0. Next one, C equal to A plus B. What is the output? 21 plus 10, 31. See the output, 31. Yes, correct. Next one, C plus equal to A. That means C equal to C plus A. Okay. Okay, can you understand? C plus equal to A means C equal to C plus A. So what is the C value? Now C plus A, that is the 31 plus 21, that is the 52 is the answer. Next one, C star equal to A, that means C equal to C star A. Okay, what is the C value? Updated C value is 52. So 52 into 21, what is the output? 1092. Next one, C slash equal to A, that means C equal to C slash A. Okay, so what is the C value? 1092 divided by 21. What is the quotient value? 52.0. Okay, next one, C equal to 2, C modulus equal to A. That is C equal to C modulus A. Okay, so see the output, line number 5, that is the 2 is the answer. Next one, C double star equal to A. That is the C equal to C double star A. Okay, this output is, this is the output. Next one, C double slash equal to A means C equal to C double slash A. That is the floor division operation. The output is, this is the output. Okay, let's see the next operator. Next one, bitwise operators. Okay, bitwise operator means it works on bits. Okay, and performs the operations bit by bit. Okay, that's why it is called the bitwise operators. Okay, first we need to convert our decimal number into binary. Okay, A equal to 60, its equivalent binary number is, this is the equivalent binary number. Next one, B equal to 13, its equivalent binary number is, this is the equivalent binary number. Next one, A, there are operators, binary AND operators, binary OR, binary XOR, binary ones complement operators. Next one, binary left shift, binary right shift operators. Okay, we will see the example program. See, a equal to 60, its equivalent binary number is this is the equivalent binary number. B equal to 13, its equivalent binary number is this is the equivalent binary number. Next, C equal to 0. C equal to A and B. See, A and B means both the conditions, okay, must be satisfied. Then only it becomes true. Okay. So, for example, here A, this is the B. Both are 1 means its output is 1. Okay. But here what happened? 0 1. Both are 1 means then only it satisfies the condition. Okay, see, it is look like a, okay, for example, 0 1, one condition is false, 0, so its result is 0. Next one 0, so 0. Next one 1 1, so it gives the result 1. Here also 1 1, so result is 1. Here 1 0, so 0, 1 0 0 0 0. Okay, both are 1. A value and B value both are 1 means it results is 1. Okay, otherwise its result is 0. Okay, next one OR condition, A or B. See, OR means generally when you are writing the exam, okay, OR condition means it is look like a either or a choice, either any one question we can attend. Okay, so is there any 0 A value or B value becomes 1 means it is output is 1. Both are 1 also output is 1. Okay, so here see 0 1 is coming, so here 1. Both are 0 0. Here 1 is coming, 1 1 is coming, 1. Next 1 is coming, 1 1 is coming, 1. Both are 0, so 0 0. Can you understand? Next one. See, this operator is called the, okay, XOR, binary XOR operator. Okay, this cap operation is called the binary XOR operator. That means in the A value, 1 must be 0. Any 1 is 1. Okay, 1 must be 0, another one is 0, another one is 1. Okay, 1 must be 0, another one is 1 means the condition is true. Any one value is 1 means its output is 1. Both are 0 means its output is 0. Both are 1 also, its output is 0. But any 1 is 1 means output is 1. Okay, see here A value any 1 is 1, so 1. Both are 0 means 0. Both are 1 also 0. Both are 1 also 0. Here 1 0 means 1. 1 0 means 1. Here both are 0. Both are 0. Next one, one's complement of A. This symbol is called the one's complement. One's complement means here 0 becomes 1. 1 becomes 0. That's all. So here see what is happening, 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0. It becomes here 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1. Next one, this is the left shift. We are shifting the 2 binary digit left side. That means, see, for example, here this is the A value. In the A value, I am shifting left shift, binary left shift. So I am removing 2 0 right side. I am cutting. Okay, cut the 2 0 right side, put 2 0 left side. See, this is the output for binary left shift. Next one, binary right shift means, see, just copy the A value, paste here. Here right shift. Right shift means we are removing 2 digit at the left, and then I am going to attach 2 digit at the left side. See, that's all. This is the output for the binary right shift operation. Can you understand? Okay. Next one. Next, logical operators. Okay, there are 3 logical operators are there: logical AND, logical OR, logical NOT operators. Next one, membership operators. See, there are two membership operators, in and not in. Okay, we will see one example program. Here, A equal to 10, B equal to 20, list equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, A in list. Whether A 10 is in this list? No. So condition false. So what is the output? Line A is not available in the given list. Okay. Next one, B. What is B? 20. 20 not in this list. 20 is in the list? No. So condition is true. 20 not in the list. Yes, condition is true. So line 2, B is not available in the given list. Next one, A equal to 2. Next, A in list. A is in the list. Yes, 2 is available in the list. So condition is true. A is available in the given list. See the output? Yes. Next one, identity operators. Is and is not are the identity operators. Okay, let's see the one example program. Okay, here see, A value is 20, B also 20. Here A is B. That means we are checking the memory location of the A and B. See, both the variables are having the same value, means it points the same address. That is the same identity. Okay, so both are same value. So A is B means both are referring the same identity. So condition is true. So line 1, A and B have the same identity. See the output? Yes. Next one, ID of A equal to ID of B. Yes, correct. So A and B have the same identity. That is also correct. Next one, B equal to 30. See, I have changed the value to B equal to 30, 20 to 30. So A is 20, B is 30. Now A is B? No. Condition is false. So A and B do not have the same identity. See. Next one, A is not B? Yes, correct. So A and B do not have the same identity. Okay. Yes, can you understand? Okay, we are referring the address, memory address of the variables. If both are referring the same value, means same address, points the same address, otherwise different address. Okay, that's all. Next one, Python operator precedence. See, first preference we are giving for the exponential. Next one, ones complement and unary plus minus. Next, multiplication division, modulo floor division, plus minus, right and left shift, bitwise and see. We are first, there is one expression means, okay, we need to first perform the exponential operation. Next, this one, next, following these. Okay. Next one, conditional statements. There are conditional statements are there. Python if statement, if else statement, nested if statement, and elif statement. There are 4 types of conditional statements are there. First one, if else, nested if statement. Okay, we will see that one by one. First, we will see the if statement. Okay. See the program, number equal to integer of input of enter the number. Okay, it is asking the enter the number in the output screen. See, I am giving 1000 and giving the enter. Okay, see, 1000 modulus 2. 1000 modulus 2 means it gives the remainder. Remainder value is 0. Yes, 0 is equal to 0, condition true. So it prints the number is even. Okay, it gives the output correctly. Yes, okay. Next one, suppose I am running the same program again, and this time I am giving 9999. See, there is no output is printing because 9999 modulus 2 means it gives the remainder 1. If 1 equal to 0, condition true or false, condition false. Condition true means it if block will execute. Condition false means we didn't include the else statement, so it will not run anything. Okay. 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 Next we will see the next program, if else statement. Okay. Okay. This time I am giving 9999. Okay. See the program. Age equal to enter your age. Okay. I am giving you a number. Okay. For example, enter your age. Okay. The same program we can do it. Okay. See if else statement. Okay, listen. The last program we are having only if statement. This program we have included the else statement also. Okay. So this time I am enter the number 9999. It gives the output as number is odd. Okay, see, it gives the it run the else statement because the condition becomes false. 9999 modulus 2 means it gives the remainder 1. So only equal to 0. Yes, condition false. So else block will execute. Number is odd. See, number is odd is the output. Can you understand? The last one, there is no else statement. So if the condition becomes false, means it does not do anything. But here in the if else statement, there is a else statement will print. Okay, condition is false. Next one, elif statement. Okay, elif statement means we will see one example. For example, enter the number. Okay, I am entering the number is 50. So if the number 50 equal to 10, condition false. Next it will check the elif statement. 50 equal to 50 as condition true. So the output is number is equal to 50. It will print. Okay. See, suppose I am running the same program again. This time I am giving enter the number 5000. Okay. Giving the enter. Here number is 5000. 5000 equal to 10, condition false. So it moves to next elif statement. Here 5000 equal to 50, condition false. Next it moves to next elif statement. 5000 equal to 100. Here also condition becomes false. So it goes to else statement. Number is not equal to 10, 50 or 500. See the output. Yes, can you understand? See, elif statement means first it will check the condition in if statement. If the condition becomes false, it goes to next condition. It checks the next condition. If the elif statement also false, next elif statement. If all the elif statements are false, then finally it goes to else statement. Okay, this is the elif statement. Okay. We will see another example. See, enter the mark. Okay, this time I am entering the mark is 35. Okay, see, first time enter the mark. I am enter the mark is 35. My mark is 35. 35 is greater than 85, and 35 is less than or equal to 100. Condition true or false? False. So it goes to next if statement. 35 is greater than 60? No. Less than or equal to 85? Not. So next if statement. Here 35 is greater than 40? No. So next if statement. Marks 35 is greater than 30? Yes, condition true. And 35 is less than or equal to 40? Yes, condition true. So it prints the you scored grade C. Okay. Yes, can you understand? Next, we will move to the Python looping. Okay, here there are four types of looping. Is there for loop, while loop, and do while loop? Yes, three kinds of looping is there: for loop, while loop, and then do while loop. Okay, we will see the for loop. First, we need to understand why we are going for the loop. Okay, see, suppose I want to print. Suppose I want to print a number starting from 0 to 100, starting from 1 to 100. I want to print the number, okay, 1 to 100. Okay, there is two ways are there. The first way is, okay, print of 1, print next line, print of 2, print of 3, print of 4. That is the one way. Okay, another way is we are using the for loop for I in range of, okay, 1 comma 101. Okay, then print of I. Here see, first time the I value is 1, next time I value is 2, next time I value is 3. Okay, how many times it will execute? The end value minus 1. So 101 minus 1, which is equal to 100. Okay, starting number is 1, ending number is 101 here, but the Python considers the end value minus 1. So what is the end value now? 100. Okay, so print of I. So 1 is printing, next comma end equal to, see, I am giving one space. In the single quotation, I am giving one space. So it goes to, it gives one space, then it prints the next value. I value 1, next 2, 3, 4, up to 100. Can you understand? See here why we are going for the loop. Okay, we are continuously executing the same statements. Okay, so we are going for the loops. Okay, we are here reusing the same statement, print statement here 100 times. We are reusing the print statement. So the for loop is used for the reusing the statements, reusing our code, and then it reduces the complexity of the program. See, for example, print of 1, print of 2, print of 3, print of 4, up to 100 times we are typing. Okay, instead of that, okay, it is very easy to type the program. See, using the for loop. Okay, can you understand why we are going for the loop? Okay, let's see the syntax for the for loop. Okay, for loop syntax is for iterating variable, okay, in sequence. Okay, here see our example for I in range of 1 comma 101. Okay, so sequence is 1 comma 101, that is 1 to 100. Okay, that is the syntax. Next statements. Here what is the statement in the example? Print is the statement. Okay, next one, see the another example for the for loop. Here see our string equal to Python. Okay, here for I in str, for I in str means here first time I value is P. Okay, next time I value is Y, next time THON. Okay, here I am iterating the string values. by using the for loop. Okay, for I in str means str is Python. I means first time I value p, next yethon. So first time I am going enter into the for loop, print of I. What will print? P will print. Next time again I am going into y. Yes, the using example. This example is called the iterating iterate the list the multiplication of, okay, into table n equal to in list. Okay, first time what is the I value? 1, next time 2, next time 3, up to 10. Okay, c equal to n into, that is 5 into 1. What is the output? 5. See the output? 5. Next time I am going into the for loop. Here what is I value? 2. So 5 into 2, 10. So next time 15, next time 20, up to 50. 10 times it will execute. Can you understand? Okay. Next move to the sum of the given list. We can find the sum of the items in the list. Okay. See the program. List equal 10, 30, 23, this one. Sum equal to 0. Next for I in list. What is the I value first time? 10. Next time 30. Next time 23. Next time 43. Up to. Okay. Here sum equal to sum plus I. Okay, sum, what is the sum value initially? 0. So 0 plus I. What is the I value? 10. So what is the sum value now? Sum value now is, okay, 10. Sum value now is 10. Next time it goes to again for loop. This time what is I value? 30. So next sum equal to sum plus I. What is the sum value? 10. 10 plus 30. What is 10 plus 30? 40. Okay, next time it goes to for loop. This time I value 23. So 43, 40 plus 23. Okay, 63. Okay, like that it is going to sum 65 and 12. Okay, after executing all the for loop, okay, then we come outside the for loop. Here the sum is sum. What is the output? 183. Can you understand? Okay. Next, range function. Okay, here see range of 10. Okay, range of 10 means its output is, okay, 0 to 9. Range of 10 means output is, range value is 0 to 9. Next one, here see the syntax for the range. Range of start comma stop comma step size. Okay, here first value is start value, next end value, next one step size. For example, range of 1 comma 5 means the range will 1 to 4, the last value minus 5. Okay, so we will see the print the table of the given number. See, for example, I am enter the number 5, so n equal to 5 for I in range. So what is I range? I value is 1, next time 2, next time 3, up to 10. Okay, last value minus 1. Okay, so 11 minus 1, 10. So I value is initially 1, next time 2, next time 3, up to 10. Okay, next first time I enter into the for loop. C equal to I into 10. What is I value? 1. 1 into I am giving the enter number is 5. 1 into 5, 5. So here in the print statement 1 star 5 equal to C, that is the 5. Next time it goes to for loop. This time I value becomes 2. So C equal to, okay, 2 into 5. So what is the 2 into 5? 10. See the output. See, it will execute up to the 10 times. 10 into 5 equal to 50. Okay. Next, we will see the another program with the step size. Okay, see the program. Enter the number. I am enter the number is 4. Okay, here for I in range of. Okay, see this program is giving the even number. Okay, from starting number is 2 and the end number is n, and then step size is 2. Okay, so suppose I want to print the first 100 uh, even numbers. Okay, so here n plus 1. I want to print first 100 even numbers, means I am enter the number is 100. I am giving, see the output. The first time they enter the number is 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 up to 100. So my program is giving the output for the even numbers. Okay, even numbers. Starting number is 2, ending number is our entered number, that is the end number, and then step size is 2. See, step size is 2 means we are skipping the one number. Starting number is 2. Okay, so it goes to print the 2 value here. Next time it goes to for loop. Okay, here we are giving the step size is 2, so next item is one item will be skipped. Okay, 2 next item in 3 is skipped, so next item what will print to 4. Next time it goes to for loop, 5 is skipped, what will print, 6 will print. Okay, like that this program will execute. Okay, see, next we will see the another program. Here see, my list equal to Peter, Joseph, Ricky, Devans for I in range of len of my list. What is len of my list? Len means it gives the length of the my list. What is the length of this list? How many items are there in the list? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items are there. So what is the len of my list? It gives 4. Okay, what is the for I in range? Range of 4 means what is the output? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 times it will execute the for loop. So first time hello, my list of 0. See here, my list Peter is index number is 0, Joseph index number is 1, next Ricky 2, next Devansu 3. So here my list of 0 means what will print? Hello Peter. See the output. Next time my list of 1 means hello Joseph. Okay, next time my list of 2 means hello Ricky. Next my list of 3 means hello Devans will print. Okay, yes, can you understand? Okay, next we will see the nested for loop. Okay, one for loop contains the another for loop, means this is called the nested for loop. Okay, we will see one example program. Here the first for loop is used to denote the number of rows. Next inner for loop is used to print the values. Okay, so first for loop, here first time rows equal to enter the rows. Here see the output, enter the rows, I am giving 3. Okay, so what is the rows value? 3. So 3 times this for loop will execute, that in outer for loop. Next I am going inner for loop. Here j in range of 3. See, range of 3 means what is output? 0, 1, 2. Okay, this inner for loop also execute 3 times. First time it will print star, next time it 2 times it will execute, because the first time j in range is range of 3. So what is the range? 0, next 1, next 2, next 3. Okay. Okay. So first time one time it will execute. So 1 star will print. Next time 2 times this J loop will execute. So 2 star will print. Next time 3 times it will execute. So it will print the 3 stars. Can you understand? Okay. Next, we can use the else statement with the for loop. Okay. We will see one example program for the else statement with the help of for loop. Okay. See, for I in range of 0 comma 5. 0 comma 5 means what is the range? I value starting from 0 and the end value is 5 minus 1, that is 4. So 0, first time 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So first time 0 will print, next time 1, 2, 3, 4 will print. Next, else statement will execute. Okay, finally else statement will execute. Here, what is the else statement? Here, for loop completely exhausted since there is no break. Okay, see, if there is a break statement we are giving means this else statement will not execute. Okay, here we are not using the break statement inside the for loop, so else block will execute. Okay, we will see the another example to understand the break. We are using the break statement. See, here for I in range of 0 comma 5, print of I. What will print? I am executing the program. 0 will print. Next, what is happening? Break. Break is used to come outside the for loop. Here, come outside the for loop means else block also. Okay, part of the for loop. So we are come outside the else block. So what will happen? Here, print. The loop is broken due to break statement. Came out of the loop. It is printing. See, can you understand? Here we are using the break. What is the purpose of break? Come outside the loop. Here else part also for the for loop. So we are come outside the else part. Okay, so it will print 0 and the loop is broken. That line will print. Okay. Next one, while loop. Okay. Here, what is the syntax for while loop? While some expression, next statements. Okay. Next, we are going to see the loop control statements. Okay, there are 3 loop control statements are there. There is the continue, break, and pause statement. Okay, first we will see the continue statement. Okay, continue statement means when it is encountered, the control transfer to the beginning of the loop. Okay, that is the continue statement. See, see here for CH in Chennai. Okay, what is the CH value first time? C. Next time H, next time E, up to the I. Okay, so first time what is the CH value? C. If CH equal to N, what is the CH value? C. C equal to N, condition false. Condition false means come outside the if statement, so it will print the CH. What is the CH value? C. So C is the output. See the output. Next time, okay, it again goes to the for loop. This time what is the CH value? H. H equal to N, condition false. So it will print the CH, that is the H value it is printing. Next time it goes to for loop E. This time CH is E. E equal to N, condition false. So it will print the E. Yes. Next time it goes to for loop. This time N. What is the CH value? N. N equal to N, condition true. See, condition true means we are coming inside the continue statement comes means we are again going to the for loop. We are not executing the remaining statements. Okay, we directly goes to the for loop. So next time it goes to for loop. Here next time ch value is n, ch n equal to n, yes, condition true, again continue. Okay, going here next time ch value is a equal to n, condition false, so print the ch value, that is a will print. Next time I value, next time I will print, next the end will print. Okay, can you understand? Next one. Next we are going to see the break statement. Here, see what is the break statement? It is used to come outside the loop. Okay. For example, first time ch value is c equal to n, condition false. So print c. Okay. Next time it goes to next time ch value is h equal to n, condition false. It prints h. Next time ch value is e equal to n, condition false. It prints e. Next time ch value is n equal to n, condition true. So it goes to break statement. Break statement is used to come outside the for loop. Okay, here what is the outside the for loop? There is one print line is there, the end. See, the end is printing. Yes, can you understand? That is the break statement. Next one, pass statement. Okay, pass statement is used to create the empty class, empty function. Okay, it does not do any operation. That is called the pass statement. Okay, you will see the example. Here, see, first time ch value is c. Okay, what will happen? C equal to n, condition false. It print the ch c. Next time h equal to n, condition false. It print h. Next time e, condition false. It print e. Next time n equal to n, condition true. It comes to pass statement. See, pass statement is used to uh, create the empty class. There is no use of the past statement. Okay, it is just simply we are using, we can create the empty class, a empty function. Okay, that kind of situation it is useful. Otherwise, okay, here it is we are just ignoring the interpreter ignores the it executes the pass statement, but it does not do anything. Okay, so next time this is the pass block will print. Next time it goes to n equal to n, condition true, pass, it does not do anything. Next line print, this is pass block, it will print, and then it print the n value. Next a I e, and the end will print. Okay, yes, can you understand? See, there is a difference between the comment and then pass statement. Comment is the interpreter does not consider that line. Okay, it just ignores. Pass statement, it is not ignored, but it does not do any operation. Okay, that is the pass statement. Next, infinite while loop. Okay, the while loop is always true. The condition is always true means what will happen? The while loop will execute, okay, infinity times. Okay. See the program, see the output, it is continuously executing, or we are inside the infinite while loop. Here the while condition is 1, condition is any non-zero value means the loop will continuously executing infinity times. See the output, see it is executing, it is printing the same line again and again. Okay, if suppose the condition I am giving 0. Okay, see, condition I am giving 0 means it will not execute this line. Okay, see the output, it does not print anything. Can you understand? So infinite while loop means here the always condition is true condition, that is 1 or non-zero value. Okay, that is the infinite while loop. Next, else with while loop, we can use the else statement with the help of while loop. See the program here, I equal to 1 while I less than equal to 5, print of I equal to I plus 1. Okay, first time I equal to 1, 1 is less than equal to 5, yes, condition true, it prints the 1. Next time 2, next 3, 4, 5. Next one, what will happen? The else part will print because we are not using the break statement inside the while, so the else part also will print. Okay. Next, we will see the difference between for loop and while loop. We will see the difference between the for loop and while loop. See, for example, see, for I in range of 10, here print of what is the range will value 0 to 9 is print. Otherwise, for example, I want to print the value from 1 to 10. So what is the range value? 1, comma 11. 1, comma 11 means what will print I value 1 to 10. See, this is a for loop. I am changing this for loop into while loop. Here I am initializing I equal to 1. Okay, next one, while of I is less than 11. Print of I next I plus equal to 1. Okay. I equal to 1. 1 is less than 10, 11. Condition true. It will print the I value. See the output. Okay. 1 to 10 is printing. Next 1 to 10 is printing. Here, see what I am changing. I value. I am initializing the I value equal to 1 for the while loop. And then increment operators. I plus equal to 1. See, when we are converting for loop into while loop, we need to initialize the I value and we need to increment the I values. Okay, so these two is necessary for the while loop, but it is not necessary for loop because in the for loop it automatically increments the values and then we are initializing the starting value here, but we need to initialize here. Okay, yes, can I understand? Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you.